All right, fuck it. Let's just get this stuff going. How y'all doing? I'm just getting ready to clean up my screen and kick on over to the Discord so I can start the stream. So you're watching this on YouTube right now. Do the little YouTube dance. Click the like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you want to see more shit like this. And we're going to talk a little bit more. You don't have to click anything right now. You can take a few minutes, see what you think. In fact, I recommend it because, to be perfectly honest, my channel is not for everyone. It's not the kind of thing everybody wants to watch. Indeed, I would say most people don't want to watch my channel because who the fuck cares? So anyway, screen clean. I'll put on the glove. And I'm going to head on over to the Discord, where I will jump into the voice chat channel, whack the screen share button, and find the appropriate image to go live with. And there it is. We'll fire that up. There we go. We up, we kicking, we online. See, my stream is not for everybody. Anyway, if you want to watch these live, you need to come and join me on the Discord. And here, this thing's obnoxious as hell. Constantly dropping the gas cylinders going out is what's wrong with it. But anyway, what we're talking about today is character design, and in particular, we are talking about the character design for Ichigo. We're talking about the character design for Ichigo over here. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, for those of you that do not know, I'm working on a series of video games, and you'll notice that the name of this particular image is Gropiverse 1. Now, we're character designing for the Gropiverse, and the Gropiverse is basically a universe of groping. This is a tremendously problematic thing, so you may find it triggering, but this is the kind of shit that I do. I think it's funny. Anyway, the first game in the series is called Groping Festival, and in this game, you're going to have these 10 girls, and the purpose of the game is to grope the girls until they drop their panties. This is not supposed to be some wokeified bullshit, okay? It's ridiculous. It's supposed to be silly. Now, I understand this is problematic, and I understand that groping people is bad. You're not supposed to do it, but we kill people in games all the time, and this is just, it's just feeling the girls up till they drop their panties. I think it's funny. Anyway, the purpose of this is to grope the girls till they drop their panties, and the format of it is just a basic clicker game. Now, we've got these 10 different girls, and what's going to happen is across 6 different levels, there's one initial level, and then there are 5 repeating levels. Actually, I may just repeat all 6 levels over and over again. Not sure. Yeah, we'll go ahead and repeat all 6 levels over and over again. That will be more interesting. But anyway, we've got all of these individual different girls, and these different girls will show up, all 10 of them, are on each level, but one of them is the boss for each particular set of levels. And in each different set of levels, they wear different outfits, they wear different costumes and that sort of thing. And we're going to move on from initially, we are going to have these 10 girls in Groping Festival, and everybody's going to lose their shit because you're groping girls till they drop their panties. But following this, which is basically just a clicker game, you click the picture in the middle of the screen until the treasure drops out. We do this with monsters all the time. Nobody cares. I'm going to do it with girls in panties because I think that's funny. The second game of the series is essentially a Vampire Survivors clone. Okay? It's called Stop Groping Me. And in this one, you play as the different girls. You start off, you have available the 4 girls that are not a boss. And as you complete each level, you complete one of the levels, which will be based on the same 6 settings that are in Groping Festival. As you complete each one, you will unlock the boss for that level until you've eventually unlocked all 6 of the bosses. You got all 10 characters available. So this is going to introduce 10 new characters, and the 10 new characters are going to be the 10 various filthy perverts. And we're going to give them names and personalities and stuff like that. The third game in the series has one of those obnoxiously long, light novel-style titles. And that title is, You Filthy Perverts Are Not Going to Peep at My Little Sister at the Hot Springs. Because you're at the hot springs with your little sister and you get word that a bunch of filthy perverts are going to come and try to peep into the girls' side of the hot springs and see naked chicks. Well, that's not okay because that's your little sister in there. So, of course, you have to defend her. So you have to defend the president. There's a whole tower defense thing, and you've got assistants that are helping you with the whole tower defense angle of all of this. And essentially, it's you directing the activities of 3 separate girls with different specialties who run around building the towers and defending the hot springs against all the filthy perverts who are coming down the path to try and peep at your little sister, which is not allowed. That's not okay. Not okay to peep at girls. Not okay to grope girls either. That's the whole point. We kind of flip the script here. We start off with Groping Festival, where you're groping all of these girls, and then we move on to Stop Groping Me, where you're the girl. You don't want to be groped. You got to run away from all these filthy perverts that are trying to grope you. And then you're a decent guy who's actually defending his little sister from all these filthy perverts that want to go and peep through the window at her. And then the fourth game in the system is the fourth game in the series, rather, is a dating simulator that's called Dating Festival, and it's all of the different characters from all of these. Because you've got the 10 different girls and the 10 different filthy perverts, and then you've got the 3 girls from the tower defense game, and you've got the 1 guy from the tower defense game, and that gives you 12 guys and 12 girls that can be dated. And I never see dating simulators that let you date men or women interchangeably. It's always either a dating simulator with just guys or a dating simulator with just girls. And I would rather see one that's just like more inclusive and has both guys and girls available to be dated. And toward that end, of course, we've got to drag in all of these people from the Gropiverse who are going to be in here, and they'll be available, and there'll be a whole dating thing. And of course, some of you are out there scratching your heads, and they're going, well, hold on, there's the 10 girls in Groping Festival, and there's the 10 guys in Stop Groping Me, and then there's the 1 guy in the tower defense game, and there's the 3 girls in the tower defense game. That's 13 girls and 11 guys. Yeah, one of those isn't a girl. And that's, I think that's funny too. And it's not a trans woman, it's like, actually, it's a guy who dresses like a girl. He's gender non-conforming. You never see that in stuff. And there are people like that out there. Finster is the obvious example. He's like the poster boy for gender nonconformity. And the whole thing is built around these 4 games in the series that just kind of unfold and create this little story. And an important part of this, an important thing that I need to focus on for a second here is this game is not hypothetical. It's an actual game that actually exists. And this is clearly not the final form of the game. All of the art is garbage. And the art in the middle of the screen is garbage. The girls aren't rotating. And this is primarily for me to check on the mathematics of it. But you can see that as you click on the girl, the little panties go flying out, and you've got the upgrades that you can buy that improve your ability to get more panties. If I do a hard reset here, you can see that it starts out with, she's got 10 hit points on her health bar, and as you sit there and you make your way through, you collect 1 pair of panties every time you grope the girl enough, and the little score at the bottom tells you how much she needs to be groped to drop her panties. Obviously, this is not something you're really supposed to do ever to anyone. Groping people is presumptuous and rude. But as you go through this, you collect enough panties, and once you've got 10 panties, you'll see over here that you can buy this glove that I call the physical glove. And once you've bought that, you can collect more panties as you're clicking on the girls. There's a chance that you'll pick up panties as you click instead of just at the end. And once you've collected enough panties, you can turn on the spiritual panties, and the spiritual panties will click for you. You can see that the counter is going down. And that'll just go down all by itself, and it'll continue doing that. You'll continue collecting panties just all by yourself, but you'll collect more if you click manually. Because it's always advantageous to actually click instead of to just let things click automatically. And that's just a basic system that I put together for it. And you can see this is just your standard basic clicker game. And as you go through it, you've got all your different your upgrades that you can buy. You've got this pink tea and blue tea, and you've got the green tea, the yellow tea, and the purple tea, and all of these different kinds of tea. Pan tea. I'm not telling you how we make it. All of these different types of tea give you certain benefits. Like if you collect some pink tea, it means that you do more damage when you click. And you can see right here that if I pull up the pink tea, now I'm doing more damage when I actually click. And when you look over here, I actually have this, I have something for click power somewhere on the screen. Everything's a mess over here. But yeah, the click is now worth 2. And the spirit click is worth 4. And you can see that as I click, things go down. And if I collect another 120 panties, which won't take long, then I can buy more tea, and you'll see the value of the click go up even further. And we're up to 90 panties now. But this is just your standard basic clicker game. You've got all your different power-ups, you've got all of your different bonuses, you've got a prestige system, and all of this is geared around the fundamental idea of, you know, it's going to have your little in-game transaction fees, it's going to have in-app purchasing and whatnot. And we're going to see how well that goes, and we're going to see how well that works. You can see now a click is worth 3 instead of 4. And that's just how everything specs out. It's how the whole it is how the whole scenario ends up working out. Is you've got this initial clicker game, and this initial clicker game is just going to be like this. It's a little throwaway game, you know. It's mostly just designed to get out there and get some stuff going on and get some minor income coming in that can turn around and be used to finance the next game. That's the purpose of all of it. And this is going to initially go out on Ichigo with a PlayFab link, and then eventually it'll go on Steam, and then Steam is probably where I'm going to be putting the rest of the games, because I like Steam. I like working with Steam. I like doing all of my gaming through Steam. But all of that is just very simply about getting the 4 games out there and getting everything together. Now, the other 3 games are, of course, just, you know, they're nebulous, theoretical horseshit. Now, I've got a bunch of notes on what's going to be in them and how they're going to work, but I don't have an actual working game yet. But it's important to recognize Groping Festival is a working game. It really exists. It really works. It could really be released if it just had everything a game like that needs. And everything a game like that needs can be summed up in 3 basic concepts. And those concepts are, first, you need the meat of the game. The game has to work. The game has to be playable. If you're putting a demo or a beta or anything out there, it has to be playable. You have to be able to play this game. If the game isn't playable, if you can't get from point A to point B in it, then what the fuck are your players supposed to be learning from it? Now, the second thing that you need is, over here on the one hand, your game needs to be fun. If your game isn't fun to play, then people aren't going to enjoy it. And if they're not enjoying it, then they're not going to wish list your game and they're not going to buy your game. And the third thing you need is it has to look good. This is the problem. This is the really problematic area for me when it comes to getting stuff out there, because as you could see in the version of the game that I've got now, the art isn't very good. and the background is absolute garbage, and all of the stuff is all over the place. It doesn't have a cool interface. It doesn't make neat sounds. It doesn't have background music. There are all of the little bells and whistles that make the game look good and sound good. And without those, you don't have something that's worth showing. You have to show something that actually has all of the things that make a game not only fun, but exciting. And, you know, you go, wow, this game looks good. This game feels good to play. And you can actually fucking play it. And you have to have that sandwich. And then you can add your lettuce and tomato and bacon and mayonnaise and mustard and pickle relish and whatever else you want to put on your fucking sandwich. But you got to start with those 2 pieces of bread. It's got to be fun, it's got to look good, and it has to be playable. There's got to be meat in the sandwich. A lot of people are going out there and they're like, it's fun to play and it looks good, so I'm putting it out there. Yeah, but you can't actually play it. It's not playable. You can't really interact with the whole game. So you got 2 pieces of bread, but it's not a fucking sandwich. It doesn't have anything in the middle. You gotta have that meat in the center of your sandwich, or at least some peanut butter, like something. You can't serve somebody a mayonnaise sandwich and expect them to be happy. But anyway, we went over a lot of these over the course of the last stream, and I've gone through and I've given everybody names, and in particular, I have named Ichigo, and Ichigo is right here, and a lot of you might immediately think of Ichigo from Darling in the Franxx, because Ichigo literally means 1-5. And some of you may think of Kurosaki Ichigo from Bleach, and that's valid because Ichigo, the word go also means guard, and Ichigo can mean number 1 guard or sentry, the best guardian, the best sentry. Or as we might say in English, we might say a first line of defense, or first responder. First responder is a good thing to come up with for that. But then you have Momomiya Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew. Because Ichigo doesn't just mean best guardian, it's also the Japanese word for strawberry, because fuck you. This language is a circus. I mean, there's no other way around, but yeah. So that's kind of the direction I'm going with this, and I am thinking about potentially Ichigo may be the secret man in the pantheon, but I haven't decided who that is yet, and I don't think I want to decide that until Dating Festival comes out. But anyway, the concepts that I'm going over with Ichigo right now are, I have some idea what her personality is. I have a basic color palette so far. I want her skin to be a little bit darker and a little bit browner, because I feel like darker and browner is more typically Japanese. Okay? There are peculiarly Japanese skin tones, just as there are peculiarly Chinese skin tones and peculiarly Korean skin tones. And this particular skin tone is relatively common among Japanese people, but not among the Chinese and the Korean people. So I'm going with a skin tone that's more in this range, more in this color range, which I don't want to describe because I'm going to get in trouble for being a racist or some such shit. But I want this skin tone because it's more clearly Japanese, and it's not the overly pink near white color that we see on far too many anime characters. You know, it's like you look at Ichigo from Bleach, and he's got a reasonable skin tone for just like some guy. But then you look at Ichigo from Darling in the Franxx, and you look at Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew, and both of them have very, very pale skin and very pink in the color range. And while Japanese skin can be in the pink color range, It tends not to be. It tends to be a little bit more tan. It tends to be more in the orange and yellow vicinity than it is in the pink vicinity. It tends to be closer over here to this kind of tan color. Just like Korean skin tends to be more golden. It tends to have this kind of warm orange tint, whereas Japanese skin tends to be a cooler orange tint. And that's a weird thing to say. The idea of cool orange is an odd thing to say. But I want to kind of go with that because you don't see that skin tone represented much in character design. So when we come over here, and I need to come up with like costumes for this, and when we come over here, I've got my palette over here on the side, and I'm going to add some more stuff to the palette as I go. But what I want to do right now is I want to kind of get some sense of what Ichigo is going to look like in the 6 different level contexts. Because what we've got is we've got an office building where she's going to be all business. We've got the subway where she's going to be business casual. We've got the konbini, the convenience store, where she's going to be just casual everyday dress. And then we've got the classroom where she's in a schoolgirl uniform, and the playground where she's in a magical girl uniform. This is also where she's the boss. So we need to think about that. She's not just a magical girl. She's the magical girl of this particular level. And then we've got kind of the fantasy element, which I haven't decided whether she's going to wear kind of wizardly robes, or she's going to be more knight in armor, or maybe somewhere in between, perhaps something in leather armor, like a rogue, or something of that nature. I haven't decided what that's going to be, but that's your D&D area. It's like, Ichigo as a D&D character. So what I got to kind of think about is the question of what kind of business outfit would she wear? And the important thing to remember is that when you're looking at a business outfit, let's move to the red sketch layer for this. When you're looking at a business outfit, okay, you've got this necessity of trying to be professional. So she's going to wear a skirt. That skirt has to come down below the knee, okay, about to mid-shin length, perhaps. It can be a little higher, but if it's going to be up higher, if it's going to be up like just under the knee, then it has to have more fullness to it. It can be tighter if it's down below the knee. Like she could wear a kind of a pencil skirt if it were down lower. Ichigo strikes me as somebody that is going to be wearing some serious bump. I kind of feel like that's important. She's going to wear some real high heels. And she's probably going to wear kind of stark colors, like something in a burgundy, maybe. Like let's go a little bit more in purplish direction. Come down here and kind of go. How's that color? Because that might be a little bit too dark. Let's take it up a bit more and saturate. Or we could go in a complementary direction. Maybe when you're looking at colors, what you want to look at is you take a look at your color wheel, and let me screenshot the color. I'll come over here and screenshot this color wheel, and then I will paste it in. And now you have an idea just how large my canvas is. If we take this color wheel and we're looking at where we are in it, top, and when you look at where we are in the color wheel here, okay, you can see that, let's switch over to a brush. Let's go back. That's a good size. So that's kind of the straight across color right there. So immediately opposite, we have this kind of aqua sea green sort of thing going on. And we can also, from that, we can go off to the side. You can divide this in 3, like so. And kind of do a here we are over here. If we divide the pie into 3 pieces, then we've got this kind of dark blue and we've got this kind of bright green. But you don't have to stick with like saturated versions. You can use a more reasonable version of that. And in the same way with the blue down here, you can use a less saturated, brighter version. So we could put her in, it would be perfectly reasonable to put her in a green skirt with a kind of light blue blouse. Or we can come straight across. We can just do this kind of double thing where we come down here. And another way that you can do this, color theory is complicated, but you can also come straight across and you can do your thirds and you can kind of split the difference between those thirds. So you've got kind of these areas here. And if we do that, if we go with this, and we say, okay, what if that is our blouse? Saturate. What if our top is kind of this color? Okay, or just like the blouse, the under. And then we look to more of this color for the outfit, or maybe a little bit. What if we put her in like a forest green? I like this because let's desaturate that a little bit. Maybe more of a spring green. Spring. How about that? What if we go with, okay, let's get a little bit larger. Let's say, okay, we're going to go a little bit below the legs. We don't want to go too far below the legs because I think Ichigo is a don't impede my movement sort of girl. I think we want to be a bit darker like this. Give her kind of a skirt along those lines, and then we'll give her a blazer which hangs mostly open, so her hand would kind of hang down at her side like this. Her blazer is hanging open like that, and then actual blouse is this kind of bright blue like that. Then we've got her neck. We got kind of this look. There, kind of. The kind of business casual sort of look. Got her legs coming down here. And I think for her shoes, We do something in the same general vicinity as blouse, but deeper and darker. Something more like brighter than that. There we do that for the shoe. So that kind of matches. You've got one of the things that you want to think about when you're looking at a woman's outfit is that typically what they'll want is they'll want a sort of unifying color that sits around, and then they're going to want a contrasting color that kind of sits underneath and in the middle of that, and that contrasting color occurs both above and below the enveloping color. This is a reasonably common sort of thing, is to have and what you've got here is kind of this dual sandwich situation where you've got a sandwich going that way and a sandwich going this way, because you've got a color down here at the bottom and a color up here at the top, and you've also got a color on both sides and a color in the middle. And that's a reasonably common way that a lot of women sort of style their outfits. Now, this is just kind of the color theory of it, and you've still got to think about what kind of outfit is this? Like, what kind of top is she going to be wearing? And what kind of jacket and blouse is she going to be wearing? How is she going to accessorize this? What jewelry is she going to wear? She's undoubtedly going to have some kind of earrings. There's all kinds of stuff you have to consider over and above this, but just kind of doing the initial rough look, the initial rough look of it fits together here. Similarly, with the business casual look, we want to do something that's more. Let's take her into a kind of a deep burgundy. Do these kind of burgundy slacks. So she'll wear a burgundy slacks. And along with those burgundy slacks, she'll wear something contrasty, but I don't think too contrasty. Maybe something directly opposite in the desaturated mint area. Something around here, maybe. Standing around having a cup of coffee. Have a cup of Okay, that's not bad. That gives us a. I think these trousers are a little bit too. Let's go with something more desaturated. A little bit brighter. Maybe something like this. That'd go well with her hair. I think we want some more. Or this kind. Maybe a pattern on those slacks too. Just to kind of be sort of fun. Then when we move over to casual, she's probably going to wear like a t-shirt, something like that. And we'll put that t-shirt, we'll put it in the blue area, we'll put it very, very light. We'll make it kind of baggy. We'll make that t-shirt kind of baggy. and it'll hang over a pair of blue shorts. Kind of bumming around in some shorts. Got bare legs. And we got bare arms over here. And I'm doing all of this the wrong way. So, color layer. So, marquee. Spit here. Add in. How do you add selection? Add. Works. And now we'll take that and we'll go, hey, cut and paste onto a new layer. Turn that layer off. And we did not need to grab that. That's fine. Means now we can just turn off the layer one copy. Here we can merge that down, which I believe is that, but there we go. We can deselect, and we've got everything on the right layer. So let's. Now, schoolgirl's simple. We know what a schoolgirl uniform looks like. That's pretty basic. The fantasy thing, I still need to think about the fantasy thing. And I'm not sure what to do about that. We all know what a schoolgirl uniform looks like, so that's not going to be particularly difficult. We just go, yeah, you know. Go, yeah, there's a white top. And then over the white top, you have the kind of bright blue lapels right there. Some kind of bright scarf thingy. And then you've got the skirt that typically coordinates with the collar. Then you get your skin. Flip. And we'll put in there. Now these are just designs, so it doesn't matter that they look like crap. But I feel like roughing them in with color instead of line art is actually really helpful. I don't know. Some people may disagree. And we still need to come up with a magical girl outfit. The magical girl outfit has got to be something striking. So I feel like it should be like a big, voluminous, this huge flowing skirt. big puffy sleeves, lots of lace. Then we'll put all kinds of pink trim on it. Also some bright red highlights maybe. No, I think the pink actually works really well. We just kind of work in the sense of we just work along the line of, ooh, I kind of like the idea of a pink spider web. So she's wearing like a pink spider web kind of thing, and then up here, do a kind of eye, that red hourglass of a black kind of black. Yeah, so she would have like this. She'd have this kind of red tie in the middle, and then it'd be this pink spider web that kind of comes out across the skirt. I like that idea. That is going to work really well for her. And then of course, arms here, and she'd carry some. A good spidery kind of weapon she could carry. Something on a chain. That's what it should be. It should be something on a chain, like a spider's silk. She could carry some kind of like hook on a chain or something like that, or maybe a spike or a rope harpoon. I don't know. Do we want her carrying a weapon or not? I don't know. Cross that bridge later. But yeah, I kind of like that idea of the black ball gown with pink trim and the big red hourglass looking tie in the middle. Just kind of suggesting this whole Black Widow thing going on with it. That would be cool. Then for the fantasy outfit, let's along the line. Get deep green, deep green robe. I think I her in nice bright suit. I don't need got this big. I have one of those big cone-faced helmets, but then you can tell it's her because her hair's sticking out the side in those two ponytails. That's fucking ridiculous. Funny though. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do. She will not have a particularly differentiated suit of. Not going to have like boob armor. Just a basic suit of armor. I think the suit's going to be more Germanic English. Well, very long pointed shoes and the ornate gloves and a lot of. I think that'll be important, and then obviously have her hair sticking. You gotta have the hair sticking out the side. That's fucking. Okay, that's basically the kind of thing that I'm looking for there. And then I need to think in terms of what each of these poses look like, and how I'm going to do those poses. Because of course, when I'm in here and I've got my little picture. Obviously, this is going to be bigger. It's going to fill like the entire middle of the screen. This whole prestige matrix right here, that prestige matrix is going to slide up from the top, or slide up from the bottom, and the panty store is going to slide in from the side, and the food store is going to slide in from the side, and they're going to take up their own space. But that space is not going to be on screen all the time. It's going to have there's going to be the picture of the girl, and then we've got all of your different power-ups that you can buy. We got these 6 power-ups here. We got these 6 power-ups here. That's going to slide in from the side, and when it slides in from the side, you're going to have your gem store, which is where you can get your different amounts of gems, and then you spend the gems on the different power-ups, so on and so forth, and then you've got your prestige that slides up from the bottom. But we're gonna have the girl in the middle, and then over here on the side we're gonna have a groping glove, and over here on the side we're gonna have another groping glove, and those are going to carry indicators of your different power-ups. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be putting together an image that sits right about here, and it's going to have a background all the way around it, and then down here you're going to have your major interface, and you're going to have a couple of tabs along the side that you pull up, and you're going to have your counters up along the top. But overall, the screen is going to be dominated by the picture of this girl. So obviously the girl needs to look relatively decent. And what I've got right now is just like placeholder, just a placeholder. And she's wearing a kind of business outfit, and that's the kind of thing. And as you can see, there is offline progress on this. When you close it and open it back up, then it's going to come back up. You saw that when we closed it just there, it was at 6 minutes and 5 seconds, and if we open it back up, when we open it back up, it's going to screw up and only have 3 minutes and 45 seconds on it. I don't know what went wrong on that. It's a bug. Bugs happen. Do that again. Do we have the? Yeah, it's not loading the. It's not loading the. Huh. Wonder why. Well, anyway, I'll figure it out later. It's a bug. Well, we'll have to look into that and see what's causing it. And let's see. All right. But anyway, that's pretty much the process I need to go through with all 10 of these. I just kind of started with Ichigo, and we need to draw. We need to do better posing with them and get her looking like an actual picture and not just like a blob on the screen. This is a very impressionist. It's an impressionist rendition of the outfits, and mostly it's just notes, so I know what I'm doing. And yeah, that's where things kind of sit. But wonder. It says that it's being saved. Yeah. When I bring it up and see that it's got 270 pensu, crank it up and I collect up to 357. I close that. If I open it again, then yeah, it's saving it. It's saving the 357 pensu. It's not, and it's saving progress, yeah. I think it's not saving progress if you don't click. If you don't click on anything, it doesn't save your progress. Now it's at 4:30, so I'm going to close it. If I open it up again, it's at 4:30. Close it again. Open it. Let's take a look at, yeah, now it's before 4:30. We let this go down, it's at 10:40, 10:39 actually. If I reopen it, okay, it's saving. It's just timer's not updating properly. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah. Not updating the timer effectively for some reason. I wonder what's going on with that. Huh. Anyway, I'll look into that at another point in time. It is updating offline progress. Huh. Hmm. All right. I'll look into that later. Not that important. I'm actually I'm at the point now. This game was developed on the Godot engine 3.3.2, and they're about to release the Godot engine 4, and it's got some enhancements and improvements to how the .NET DLLs are handled. So I'm gonna have to experiment with that and see how well that goes. But it's not a big deal because nobody's actually playing this game yet. Because, not that interesting just yet. It doesn't have the sound effects, it doesn't have all the particle effects. I mean, it's got the pandy particle effects, but there's got to be particle effects all over the place. It's got to be like, you click on stuff and it makes cool noises and it does cool shit. And There's neat little effects, and then it becomes all addictive, and you want to spend money on it, which is like the entire fucking point. But yeah, okay. I think that's about the right place to leave it for tonight. This is kind of the rough process that I'm going through to do this design. I have no damn clue what I'm doing. It's not like I'm an expert at design. I'm just going through and doing what I know how to do is the main thing. And this is basically what this is what I know how to do. Turn off the reference here. And I left Ichigo's titties off because I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. But yeah, so I have these 10 different characters to do that with, and I still got 2 people need to be named. Decided what to name them yet. Need to figure that out. I'll figure that out eventually. It's not important to get done all at once. And anyway, that's where we are, and that's the stuff that I've been working on, and yeah, that's like it. Do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all of that shit, and okay, bye.